Hare Krishna. Doesn't work. Hare Krishna. Hare Gol. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jam Vishnupat Pranam Sapravarjigacharya Stutara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Abhay Chandravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai अनंता कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Oh, glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Oh, glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Oh, glorious Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaputati Shmataradana Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaputati Shmati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चातदेशतारिणे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, entitled Dhruva Maharaja Goes Back to Godhead, text 44. Maitreya Vacha Etate Bihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Maitreya Vacha Etate Bihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Maitreya Vacha Etate Bihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Maitreya Vacha Etate Vihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Maitreya Vacha Etate Vihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Mataji. Maitreya Vacha Etate Vihitam Sarvam Yat Prishtoham Ihatvaya Dhruvasyo Dama Yashasas Charitam Samatam Satam. Maitreya Vacha etati vihitam sarvam yat prishtoham ihatvaya Druvasyo damaya shasash charitam sambatam satam Maitreyaha uvacha. The great sage Maitreya said, Etat, this, te, unto you, abhihitam, described, sarvam, everything, yat, what, prishtaha, aham, I was asked, iha, here, tvaya, by you, druvasya, of Dhruva Maharaja, udama, greatly uplifting, yashasaha, whose reputation, charitam, character, samatam, approved, satam, by great devotees. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, whatever you have asked from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruva Maharaja, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaja. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam means everything in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whether we hear the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord, or we hear about the character, reputation, and activities of His devotees, they are all one and the same. Neophyte devotees simply try to understand the pastimes of the Lord and are not very interested in hearing about the activities of His devotees. But such discrimination should not be indulged in by any real devotee. Sometimes less intelligent men try to hear about the rasa dance of Krishna and do not take care to hear about other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam, which they completely avoid. There are professional Bhagavat reciters who abruptly go to the Rasa Lila chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, as if other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam were useless. This kind of discrimination and abrupt adoption of the Rasa Lila pastimes of the Lord is not approved by us again. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, whatever you have asked from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruva Maharaja, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaja. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyahivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we discuss further this Dhruva pastime, how he went back home, back to Godhead. And we'll connect this also with our theme of aparadas. We can see how Dhruva, what was his attitude toward other people, especially other devotees. You may remember, if you have heard this pastime, that he went to Badarik ashram and performed different austerities and sadhana. And then he quickly attained perfection. Actually, he was already perfect. And Vimana from spiritual world came to pick him up and take him to the spiritual world. But he didn't just jump on the Vimana, as one would assume. But he wanted first to perform his spiritual activities. That means to chant at least 16 rounds of his sadhana. Yes, he was so dhruva, we can say, so adamant that he will perform his spiritual duties. And then after he finished his sadhana, daily sadhana, he didn't boast, I'm going back home, back to Godhead, and you, because there were other sages around also. So I can bless you that you will go also. No, he went to every one of these sages and asked them for blessings. Yes, before he went. And then he also remembered his mother, who was his Vartma Padarshaka guru, who said that the great sages usually find the Lord in the forest. So at the age of 5, he went to the forest to find the Lord. So yes, there are so many instructions in this Dhruva Lila, and therefore here it is said Samatam Satam, that is approved by great devotees, and Prabhupada translates here, very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj, that devotees very much like, and great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. And that was the case also with Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar Pandit. They read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So much so that the copy of Bhagavatam that was Gadadhar Pandit's copy of Bhagavatam was completely washed away by the tears of love. They discussed every day from Srimad Bhagavatam, and the tears from Gadadhar Pandit's eyes were falling on the this copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many pages were unable. It was unable. No one could be able to read them. And when Srinivasacharya came to Gadadhar Pandit to learn Bhagavatam from him, Gadadhar sent him back to Bengal to get a new copy because his copy was unusable. It was so washed away by tears. And they, especially Lord Chaitanya, loved to hear two pastimes from Gadadhar. And the first one was of Dhruva Maharaj, and the second one was Prahlad Maharaj. And when Gadadhar Pandit finished one lila, Lord Chaitanya said, tell me again. Tell me again. And so we can see that pastimes of Dhruva is very long, and also of Prahlad is very long pastimes. Both pastimes are very long in Srimad Bhagavatam. But Lord Chaitanya wanted to hear this 20 times. The same story again and again and again. Yes. So it's very important what Prabhupada here says, that neophyte devotees only focus on Krishna, not on devotees and other things. We discussed yesterday, we discussed yesterday Tadiya aparadas. That means aparadas against the things that are connected with Krishna. And we spoke about this Damodar Lila, when Yashoda bound Krishna. And there is one important aspect we didn't mention, and it is that this we should understand with these offenses that Krishna is a person. It's very simple. And we said that by chanting the holy name, all the apparats, other apparats, are vanquished. But we also stressed that if we commit these other apparats, like seva apparats, tadiya apparats, and so on, then it becomes nama apparat. And we can give a simple and illustrative example of this. For example, if you love someone and you do something unknowingly that this is displeasing for this person, and he loves you also, and you have very loving relationship, and you call him or her, and have loving exchanges, the other person will not consider this offense because you did it unknowingly to be something serious, isn't it? But if you know that something is displeasing and then you try to call him and pacify, this is of course displeasing, isn't it? How can we be pacified with such a behavior? And if we don't know, or this question was raised, should we just focus on the holy name, chanting the holy name, or we should know this kind of offenses? They are there in Shastra just for our benefit, to know them, and not to commit them because they are displeasing for the person we try to love. Isn't it? So it's really important to know these different offenses and try to guard against them very much. Otherwise, if we are careless, this is certainly displeasing for the loving person. Yes. And because of different type of offenses, we cannot establish loving relationship. And that's against our interest. We would like to have loving relationship with the Lord. Everyone wants to have loving relationship with the Lord. Every devotee, at least. Yes. So it's important to know these offenses, um, and that we can avoid them. That we know what is pleasing and what's displeasing to the Lord. So today, before we start, we said yesterday that maybe we can start with questions, because there were many questions yesterday and we abruptly stopped. Is there any question in your mind? Any of you? Some doubt? Yes?
Increase of sattva guna.
Of course, we should know that these gunas, material modes of nature, they are not present in pure form in anything. They're every time they're mixed. So everyone has his own mixture of these gunas, unique mixture. And Krishna says in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Aham hi sarvayaganam bhoktacha prabhurevacha natu mama bijananti tattva natashyavantite. That I'm the enjoyer of everything. Of Aham hi sarvayaganam, of all sacrifices. Aham hi sarvayaganam bhoktacha prabhurevacha. I'm their enjoyer and the Lord. And those who don't worship me directly, they will definitely fall down. That means what is fall down is influence of lower modes. Nothing else actually is a fall down. And then we become prey of these lower modes. So as we also said yesterday, we can artificially rise ourselves to some higher sattva, but as Krishna also explains in 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that there are always struggle between among these three modes, for which modes to be superior to other two. So usually the modes of ignorance and passion are very strong in this world. So no one who is not a devotee can rise above these two. Yes, only by pure devotional service we can rise above them. So therefore we should know what is pure devotional service and what is mixed devotional service. Because mixed devotional service means that we try to remain under the influence of the modes of material nature. So this should be clear, what is pure and what is mixed. Yes. So we should practice pure devotional service, not mixed devotional service. Is this okay? Okay, anything else? So we can now speak about seva aparadas. And we said that there are many. So we should know them, but also in many cases we cannot follow them completely or guard against them completely, because first there are so many, and sometimes there is such a situation that we cannot guard against them completely. So we should stick to what is prescribed by our acharyas, our gurus, basically, most important. So the first seva parada is entering the Lord's temple in a vehicle or while wearing shoes. This is well known apparat. We'll not go into detail with every apparat because then we can hear it for another month or more. Because as I said, the different lists of these apparats, and it's a list of 32 apparats and a list of 64 apparats. So yes, we should be careful. So this is well known. Everyone knows that he should come to the temple barefoot, or not in a palanquin. If someone is a king, he should go to the temple barefoot, not in the palanquin. There is an exception, of course, if one is handicapped and invalid in this wheelchair, he can be brought in a wheelchair or put on some chair or something. So there is some concession there. Hare Krishna. Then the next offense, not celebrating the Lord's birthday and other pastimes. This is very important to understand. If Lord has a birthday party, or for example, you have a birthday party and you invite your friends, and if your friends don't show up, you feel sad, isn't it? You invite people to come to celebrate birthday, and then people don't respond, so that you get the feeling that they don't care about you, isn't it? So if Lord has a birthday, we should celebrate. Everyone should celebrate. We should take day off if possible to celebrate for the Lord's pleasure. Yes. So it's important to celebrate and to give gifts also to the Lord, not just to everyone else but the Lord. Yes. Of course, if we have particular service to perform, for example, in the kitchen, or this is, then we are servants of the Lord in this role, and Lord is very pleased also if we celebrate His birthday as His servant, not just to be present on the birthday party, but to serve all the devotees. Lord is even more pleased then. Yes. Then the next offense is not offering obeisance when coming before the deity. This is one of the offenses. So that you just walk in and do other things and not offer obeisance. Or we can see something often, that devotees pay obeisance with one hand. For example, if you have a japa mala in other hand, this is also an offense. Or we can also see such bogus obeisance, like touching the ground and have you seen like this? They consider this an bowing down, but it's not. Yes.
During the beat back, could we also have the beat back like this in our hand, and we go like this?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Or like this. You have it back like this, that you keep it up. Yes. So we should not do it in a halfway. We should completely offer obeisance to the deity. Then worshipping the deity with an unclean body or while in an impure state. Yes. So we should bathe before worshipping the deities. Then the next is very interesting, strolling or pacing before the deity. For example, devotees chant japa and walking up and down before the deity. This is considered an offense because the Lord is not in the your focus. Yes. And basically, why you're walking up and down? Because you're kind of bored. And the Lord is not attractive enough for you. To strolling or pacing before the deity. It means they walk up and down and not focus on the deity. Yes. Then is sitting before the deity while holding up one's knees with one's forearms. Yes, it's sometimes it's difficult to sit properly. So one is holding knees. Then the next is lying down before the deity. Yes, we have also seen this. Have you seen that someone is lying down before the deities? Yes, you're fortunate if you haven't. Eating before the deity. Many times, grihastas have altar with the deities and don't close the deities when they eat. According to Shastra, this is an offense. So, because when we eat, we focus on our satisfaction. Of course, a devotee is focused on honoring prasad, or at least we should be focused on honoring prasad. But then again, the deity is not in focus. It's something else. It's deity's mercy, but we can focus on deity's mercy after we honor properly the deity. Yes. Telling lies before the deity. This is a very strong one. And we can remember from Chaitanya Charitamrita, there was a Shakshi Gopal story. Then there was a old Brahmana and a young Brahmana. And young Brahmana, they were both on the pilgrimage. And young Brahmana took very good care of this old Brahmana. And this old Brahmana was so satisfied with him that he offered his daughter for marriage to this young Brahmana. But it happened that this young Brahmana was very poor, and this old Brahmana was very rich. And he said, this young Brahmana said that you cannot do this, because everyone in your family will oppose this. And so you cannot fulfill your promise. So it's better not to promise such a thing. But old Brahmana was very adamant that, yes, I want to give you my daughter for marriage. And then young Brahmana said, okay, then go before the Gopal deity and promise before Gopal. Because no one dares to tell lies in at least in Vedic culture it was like this before the deities. So and it was the custom, if there was something not easily resolved, who is telling the truth and who's not, they were brought before the deities, and no one dared to tell lies. Yes. So we shouldn't tell lies before the deities. Yes. We should be very careful. Speaking loudly before the deity. Yes. It's also an offense. We have now loudspeakers, so I should be careful. But because it's Krishna Katha, is okay. But loud speaking before the deity is not beneficial. It's an offense. Conversing privately before the deity. So this is also an offense. To speak something not connected to the worship of the deities is also an offense. Crying before the deity. Of course, if we cry of ecstasy, it's not such a thing. But if we are sad and cry before the deity, it's an offense, because we should be in a jolly mood, or happy mood, in front of the deities. Yes. Because if someone is sad, and then we also become sad, isn't it? Especially if we care for this person. So if we come in this sad mood to the deity, we'll make Krishna sad, because he loves us, isn't it? But our purpose is not that Krishna would be sad, because we are devotees. Our purpose is to make Krishna happy. So we should come in a happy mood before the deity. Not to burden the deity who we love with our sadness. Yes?
But when we are in such a deranged state of mind, and then we go to the deity to take shelter, we might cry also.
Yes, it's true that if we are extremely disturbed and so on, we can only take shelter of the Lord. But we shouldn't bother the Lord too much. Yes. So we should have this mentality: I want to please the Lord. I want to please the Lord. This is quite different mood than other religions have. Other religions have this mentality: the Lord is my father and mother, and so I approach with all my problems all the time. Of course, there is an aspect of devotional service to reveal your mind before the deities. In 64 angas of devotional service, one is to reveal your mind. But as a devotee, our purpose is to make Krishna happy, not to burden him with our problems. So yes, of course, we should solve our problems with Krishna's help, and not in any other way, but basically with proper attitude. Like tatte nukampam susamikshamano punjanai vatma kritam vipakam hritvak papurpir vidadan namaste jivetayo muktipade satayabhak. That we understand that all these troubles that I have are just the consequence of my misdeeds. And I glorify and worship the Lord with all my mind, heart, and soul, and my body. So I don't bother him about the proper consequences that I undergo. You understand the point? Yes. We are responsible for our misdeeds, and we shouldn't cry too much before the deity about this. We should just glorify the Lord and realize that all this suffering that I experience, that they are Krishna's mercy. So we can come and thank you, Krishna, for all these inconveniences that I experience. Thank you very much. And also Queen Kunti prayed like this. Please send me more miseries. Yes, please.
Is Krishna happy when we pray to him?
Yes, prayer is one of the angas of devotional service. But depends what for we pray.
But this is like very different to just crying.
We can pray to be pure devotee, or pray to never forget him. Understand? It's not really devotional if you pray for daily bread, for example, or pray for to be safe from miseries. Yes, please.
I remember one lecture, Prabhupada said one should go in front of the deity and say, "My dear sir, I'm suffering like this."
Yes. Yes, we should know that first we should learn to go to Krishna for to solve our problems, not in some to seek some material solution. So, but Prabhupada also describes in many places that we should be humble and take all these inconveniences as Krishna's mercy. Yes, definitely. Krishna should be in the center of our life, in whatever way and form. If you feel jolly or sad or disturbed or anything, Krishna should be in the center of our life. Yes. So we should know what is pleasing to Krishna and what's not pleasing to Krishna. Therefore, all these offenses are described. That we take, that we assume proper attitude. Then quarreling before the deity. This is also a grave offense if we quarrel before the deity. Being charitable to someone before the deity. So this is very interesting, isn't it? To be charitable. One would think that this is very beneficial to be charitable. But if someone else is in the focus of your attention, again, this is an offense. Yes, please.
Thinking also because everything is the Lord's property. So if one person says to another person in front of the Lord, I give this my property to you, it is like two thieves who are making gifts to each other with what they stole.
Yes.
In front of the person to whom it belongs.
Yes, it's very interesting thought. Yes, you take from the person, and I give it to you. What do you want?
When guests come and donate money there, this is like something different, right?
Where? Here?
In the temple, while there is some lecture or something else, and they are about to leave them with some money.
Here? Yes, this is for the deity, and this is beneficial. Yes. We use our money, our energy, our attention for the pleasure of the deity. It's our so-called our. Yes. Okay. Behaving or speaking cruelly towards common people. So we should be gentlemen, as Prabhupada put it. That one will know who is my disciple because he's a gentleman. He said Prabhupada. So we should not be cruel to anyone or speaking cruelly. Even though sometimes Prabhupada spoke very strongly, but he didn't spoke strongly before other people. He spoke strongly before the devotees that they would understand what is truth and what is not. Serving the deity while covered with a wool, fur, or down blanket. No, I don't know what's down blanket. Anyone knows? Oh. Sorry? Uh-huh. Okay. So, you should know. Covered with a wool. This is interesting because wool is usually considered pure. Fur or down blanket. Criticizing others before the deity. Yes, we shouldn't criticize. And praising others before the deity. Using foul language before the deity. Passing air before the deity. Financial fraud, that is organizing a festival or offering worship at a lower cost or with fewer ingredients than one is able to provide. So, if we are able to provide something valuable for the deity, but we are miserly and we don't want to spend so much money on the deity, this is an offense. Yes. Taking items that have not been offered to the deity for oneself. And the next one, not offering fruits and grains to the deity when they are fresh. So this is also an offense to eat something that is not been offered to the Lord. And that means that we eat some in some restaurant or even vegetarian, but it's not prepared by devotees. Or we buy food in the store, prepared food, and we eat it. Yes. Krishna says in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmana. That I accept whatever you give with love and devotion, even if is a leaf or a flower or fruit or little water. But in this verse, Krishna mentions bhakti 2 times. Bhaktya prayachati and bhakti upahritam. That means that it's prepared with love and offered with love. So no non-devotee can prepare something with love. Very careful not to consume food prepared by non-devotees. And to offer it to Krishna is also an offense. To offer the food prepared by non-devotees. Yes. So we should be careful about this. Yes.
What about those supplements? Is this considered? I still got some supplements from home and I use them sometimes and I offer them, but they are not prepared by, it's just by machinery, I guess.
Yes. These supplements are, I don't like them very much. So maybe my judgment will not be unbiased. But yes, everything should be prepared with love for Krishna. Just imagine who's preparing food for Krishna? Radharani. And sometimes Rohini also, Balaram's mother. So do you think Srimati Radharani would offer to Krishna, give to Krishna, something prepared by non-devotees? Never. She would never give such a thing to Krishna. So if we give to Krishna, and we said that devotees are servants of Radharani, and now we bring to Radharani something that is not offerable to Krishna, to offer to Krishna. It's an offense. Yes. So we should be careful. We should know that Krishna is a person. We tend to forget this. As long as we are sadhakas, we tend to forget this and we think it's some kind of a mechanical process. But Krishna is a person. So don't offer to Krishna what's not prepared with love for him. As Radharani wouldn't offer him such a food. So why should we? We should rather fast. Yes.
Sometimes guests bring some bought laddu or something, some sweets. What do we do with this?
To the temple?
To the temple, yes.
Yes, this is offered for the Lord's pleasure. This is bhakti. We can assume they are prepared also with love, if they prepare themselves.
Well, when it's just bought, when it's bought sweets in some plastic.
Both from the shop?
Bought from some shop.
Yes, there are different standards, but we should strive for the best. Yes, because we are striving for the best. We are here to because we are striving for the best, isn't it? We would all love to develop pure love for Krishna. Is there anyone who has different goal here? You have different aspirations in your life than develop pure love for Krishna? So we should behave in such a way that is most pleasing to Krishna. Yes. Giving the best part of collected ingredients to others and offering the remains to the deity. Yes. Sitting with one's back to the deity. Yes, this is also very known. Offering obeisance to others before the deity. This is a tricky one. There are few things that you're damned if you do it or damned if you don't. For example, if you don't offer obeisance to your spiritual master, it's an offense. But if you offer obeisance before the deity, it's also an offense. So, in both ways, it's an offense. So it's best to offer obeisance before your spiritual master. Yes.
We do this every day, no? Offering obeisances to Srila Prabhupada before the deity.
Yes. Yes, but we should do it. Understand? Because he's our connection to Krishna. If we don't offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, it would be again an offense. Yes.
I cannot give any reference, but what I heard, like what we're trying repeatedly from seniors, is that the spiritual master is that one personality which one can offer obeisances in front of the deity.
Sorry?
The spiritual master is that one personality to whom one can offer obeisances even in front of the deity.
Oh, yes.
That's what I always heard. I don't have any reference for this, but I heard that. Maybe the seniors.
Yes. Okay. And when we enter the temple, we also offer obeisance to the devotees, to all the devotees. So yes, because they're pleasing to the Lord. They're His dear ones. But we should be careful, not just offering obeisance to each other, for example, before the deities and so on.
Does temple also mean offering obeisances to others in the entrance, for example, of the building, not of
No. Just in front, if the altar is opened. Yes. Because if the altar is closed, then Krishna has his private pastimes. Yes.
So the view of Nrsimhadev is like this, and if we do it here, is that okay?
Maybe our pujari can explain this.
Well, we offer obeisances to the spiritual master first of all, because through him we approach the Lord.
Yes.
We worship Srila Prabhupada because he's the acharya, and when the deity is open, when we offer Guru Puja, then the deity is usually open, and we make obeisances, full, flat, dandavat, everything.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's not an offense, and offering obeisances to the devotees. I think this is all relevant in one sense, but one can see it's also confusing, because sometimes this rules and regulations, they contradict each other.
Yes,
And then we have the nectar
yes.
of instruction, where I said we should not follow rules and regulations just because of following them, because we should understand what's the meaning, the purpose
Yes.
behind.
Exactly.
So I think we should take this in consideration.
Yes. So therefore, I'm stressing this, that Krishna is a person, that we don't do just something because it's written like this. So we offer obeisance, of course, to Srila Prabhupada and our Guru, because also it says Sakshat Hari Tvana Samasta Shastra. Guru is Sakshat Hari. He is directly Krishna, actually. Not this Guru Tattva is very special Tattva. He, of course, is Jiva Tattva, but Krishna is manifesting his mercy and power through Guru. So it's directly Krishna is reciprocating with us through Guru. Yes. And even though here it is said that we shouldn't offer obeisance to anyone before the deity, whenever we offer any obeisance, we should know that we offer obeisance also to Paramatma in the heart of this living entity. Yes?
What if we have service in a temple, we have to keep going in and out of the temple room? Do we still need to offer obeisances every time?
Yes. If we go in and out, we offer obeisance every time. Good. Remaining quiet and not offering praise, obeisance, and so on before Sri Gurudev. This is also an offense. So we should praise our Gurudev, not just be quiet. Praising oneself before Sri Gurudev or before the deity, and criticizing the demigods. All these are considering offenses. Yes, so we should be very careful not to commit them. Okay, are there any questions? Yes?
You have 2 questions. Hare Krishna. One about crying before the deity.
Because many times I heard what you should learn to cry for Krishna. Is this then meant in, I don't know, in japa, or is it something we should never do before the deity? Can you explain maybe a little bit more?
I said that, of course, and these are tears for the Lord, they are beneficial. But if there are tears because of our false ego is hurt, understand the difference, then it's an offense. But if we cry for Krishna, this crying is beneficial. So yes, please cry for Krishna, not for because of your material problems. Okay? Yes, better if the deity is opened. Yes.
The deity in the japa time never is opened.
Yes.
So should we still leave the temple room?
No. But then during the day, many times the altar is opened. And devotees come in the temple and chant before the deity. And chanting before the deity is good. Very powerful. But if we pacing up and down, it's not good. Yes.
Yeah, tears of ecstasy is something which you get out of love to Krishna, right?
Yes.
What is crying for Krishna?
Crying for Krishna is to be extremely eager to develop love for Krishna, but you consider yourself completely insignificant and helpless, and you cry, Krishna, please help me to love you. Hare Krishna. Yes.
What about criticizing demigods? Because in the scriptures we hear this all the time. We shouldn't, like, the faults that they have, and they don't, they want material benefits, and it's kind of some kind of criticism, right?
It is explained that even these extremely elevated personalities have still material faults, and that we shouldn't pray for their position or anything like this. But we should know that they are devotees of the Lord. They are maybe not pure devotees of the Lord, but still they are Lord's devotees and part of His garment, of this universal garment. So we shouldn't criticize the Lord's establishment. Understand? This is Lord's establishment. And he, for example, Indra is his prime minister, and you criticize Lord's establishment, actually, universal establishment. So this is an offense for the Lord. That you think you can do better than the Lord. Yes.
According to this question, when some devotee is doing something not good for Krishna, you have said you kind of answered this yesterday, or going to the superior and telling what we think or saw. What about this when the demigod is not doing very good devotional service?
We don't have perception of this. How can you perceive if Indra is doing good job now or not? Yes, there are many instances and stories about this, but it's especially meant for us to be very aware of, for example, pride or different material desires. That we can recognize our faults in our heart. They're mentioned with these purposes. Of course, if something comes into Bhagavatam, it's very important for us to understand. So we should take instruction from these stories, not to criticize. Yes, this is important mood. Yes, please.
Coming to my mind is that when we speak
yes, a speaker shouldn't deride Indra, for example. Even though we can see that Indra is acting very foolishly. For example, in this in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, first he sends this great deluge over Vrindavan and trying to kill all Vrajavasis actually, and destroy Vrindavan and Krishna and cows and everything. And then he was very sorry and came to Krishna and prayed for forgiveness and so on. And then, just few moments later, from Lord Indra's perspective, when Krishna was in Dwaraka, he went to serve Indra. Actually, he because Aditi was this Narakasura stole umbrella and other things from the demigods. They couldn't get it themselves, so Krishna helped them to get them back. And he came with Satyabhama to the heavenly planets and took one parijata tree for Satyabhama's pleasure. And again Indra went mad and fought against Krishna just after a few moments when he begged for forgiveness. So it's very interesting. But we shouldn't criticize, because everything has its purpose, and he was so elevated, we can say, that he was facing Krishna face to face. Yes. But we should take instruction not to fall prey to such lower modes. Yes. And that even the post of Indra is not safe from lower modes. It's also important instruction for us. Okay, anything else? Yes, please. Yes, these stories very much show the power of devotional service. It is said in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, akamak sarvakamava moksha kamodardi tivrena bhakti yogina yajita purusham param. That maybe we are without any material desire, akama. Or maybe we have all kinds of material desires, sarva kama. Or maybe we desire liberation, moksha kama. But one who is udaradihi, who is intelligent, will worship the Lord with intense devotional service. Tivrena bhakti yogina, tivra bhakti, intense bhakti. And this is the example of Maharaj Dhruva. He worshipped, even though he was sarvakama, we can say. He had all types of material desires. He wanted to have a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. That means Brahma. He wanted to have kingdom greater than the universe. But he approached the Lord with Tivra Bhakti, so much so that he stopped breathing the whole universe with his extremely intense bhakti, according to the instruction of his spiritual master. Yes. So he followed the process of bhakti, and then he very staunchly and with intense devotional service, and therefore he received pure bhakti, Lord's mercy and pure bhakti. And Prahlad is example of extremely strong faith in Lord's mercy and protection, and fearlessness. He was completely fearless also. Although it is said that Hiranyakashipu, his father, he just lifted his eyebrows and all the universe trembled in fear. But Prahlad came to his father and said, you shouldn't be foolish and try to enjoy in your way. You should go to Vrindavan and worship Krishna. And Krishna was the most deadly enemy of his father. But he had the guts to tell his father, you should worship Krishna. You shouldn't go against him. You should worship him. And no one can achieve anything without taking bath in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees of Krishna. So these two stories were extremely dear to Lord Chaitanya. Because they show how powerful is devotional service. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes.
You said that this desire of Dhruva Maharaj were sarva kama. To me, it just feels like he had an intense desire for justice, and that's why this desire for even bigger kingdom than.
Yes, justice. His ego was hurt, actually.
Well, but it's a sign of kshatriya to have ego, no?
Yes, it is. But devotees are not considered to be one of these varnas. Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, Vaishyas, or Shudras. In fact, it's an offense to designate Vaishnava according to these material designations. Vaishnava is beyond these material designations. Understand? So his attitude was material. He wanted revenge, actually. And therefore he performed penances for this purpose, to get Lord's darshan, to get material power from him and material benefits from him. So this is sarvakama. And actually proper understanding is that this world is a world of justice. We don't want justice. This is the world of justice. We live in the world of justice. The spiritual world is not the world of justice. It's a world of love, of mercy. Mercy doesn't mean justice. Mercy is to receive something that we don't deserve. And we cannot deserve bhakti. It's a hetuki. It's without cause. It's causeless mercy. We cannot do anything to deserve bhakti. Yes, it's just sheer mercy. So we want to go out of the world of justice to the world of mercy and love. Understand? So if we want justice, that means that we want to stay in material world. Yes.
As you said, a pure material motivation.
Yes.
And he had darshan of Vishnu. Why did Vishnu give him darshan for this motivation?
because we mentioned that the effect of apparats of offense is crookedness. But he was very straightforward. No crookedness in his heart.
Then how can one find oneself's crookedness?
This crookedness means ulterior motive. We want to sit on two chairs simultaneously. Understand? We want Krishna and we want material enjoyments at the same time. And Lord Jesus said that you can only have one master. Otherwise, you will serve one and despise the other. Understand? So, yes, we should. Therefore, we should purify our heart. This is the process of purification. Because we have so many motives, impure motives, in our life, to the holy name. And we'll discuss this next, and rectify them. Nothing can rectify them. Hare Krishna. Should we stop here? Thank you very much for your attention. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Please accept my humble peace.